Today I'm flying on JetBlue for the very first time, taking an economy flight from Orlando to San Juan in Puerto Rico. We arrived at Orlando Airport late morning and found quite a long check-in line. JetBlue operates a self-bag drop where you check in using the kiosk, print out your boarding pass, print out your luggage tags and apply those to your bags yourself. Not a massive fan of this, if I'm honest. I always think I'm going to mess up and get the luggage tags on wrong, but thankfully the bags did get their luggage tags on and made it to the end destination, so must have done okay. This was an early January flight and there was still a massive Christmas tree in the entrance to Orlando Airport. Once through security, we decided to look for a lounge. Now, obviously we're flying economy with JetBlue, there's no lounge access included. However, we did manage to get into the Plaza Premium lounge using our Amex Platinum cards. It was actually a really nice lounge and I'll show you what the experience was like, but obviously if you're not interested in that and just want to get straight to the flight, please feel free to skip ahead. I'll leave timestamps in the description. I thought the lounge was a really nice space, nicely decorated, really spacious and surprisingly quiet. There was this little room here in the entrance that there was never really anyone sat in. Going through the doors at the end was the bar area and the food area, and most people seemed to stay through there, but even that area was actually really quiet the whole time we were in, and we were there a good couple of hours. Plenty of soft drink options available, as well as the coffee machines, juice, biscuits. We chose these seats by the window here for some nice outdoor views. And yeah, just a really nicely decorated bar area, just a nice place to relax. The food when we first got there, it didn't look like anything too special. There were these hot food items, there were also some salads, fruit options available. It's a bit picked over, to be honest. A few breads and pastries and things like that as well. Feeling a bit exhausted from 5 nights at Universal Studios, so a good bit of caffeine was definitely needed. And thankfully, by the time I'd got that, they'd replenished the food a bit, so started off with a little pasta, and then managed to get a good plate of jerk chicken, which was really, really nice. For dessert, went for a couple of cookies, and these were really soft and really nice. We didn't have anything to drink today other than soft drinks, but there were plenty of drink options available. Lots of wines, beers, a few spirits as well. For each of these options as well, there was a complimentary version, but also ones that you could pay a bit extra for too. The bathrooms were unisex cubicles that were kept nice and clean. After a good couple of hours relaxing and eating in the lounge, it was time to get to the gate. Unfortunately, we were left stood around at the gate for quite a while as the flight just got pushed back and delayed a bit. Our Apple AirTags were showing that our luggage was nowhere near our plane, but thankfully when I was looking out this window I did manage to spot our bags getting loaded on the plane, so that was nice and reassuring. After waiting around a good bit longer, it was finally time to board the plane, which was quite a slow process. For today's flight, we selected what we were told were exit row seats on the JetBlue website. However, when you look at the Airloper seat map, it does show clearly we don't actually get any additional leg room for this exit row seat. It's quite good storage on the seat back in front of you, a few pockets and a place to put your drink. You've got a TV screen in front of you as well. No window sadly in this seat, so not much in terms of takeoff views available, and you do get individual air vents and lights. As mentioned, no window for me, and also I noticed the passenger in front actually left their window closed for the duration of the flight, including takeoff and landing, and nothing was ever said about that by the flight crew. So this was the only real view I had of takeoff, this little tiny window outside the emergency exit. The onboard entertainment was pretty good. They had Wi-Fi supposedly. I did try to access this, but it didn't actually work for the whole flight, so it's nice in theory but just didn't actually really work for us. Similar to that, within the onboard system you've got things like TV, movies, but the live TV, again, it worked for I think the first 30 minutes, then it said we were out of range for the rest of the flight, so plenty of entertainment in theory but not that good in practice, and it was quite an old and small screen too. There's no earphones made available either, so you do have to bring your own. I think you can also pay JetBlue for some as well if you wanted to, but there wasn't too much on there that I really fancied watching anyway, especially with the length of flight that we had. Just mainly stuck to using my own system, and ended up watching season 1 of The Bear, which I'd highly recommend to anyone if you've not seen it already. As I often would do on these flights, I just decided to use the seatback entertainment to put on the map of the trip and follow that along. About half an hour after takeoff, they started the onboard service, handing out drinks and snacks. The drinks were full-size cans, which were good. I'm so used to getting those tiny little cans on flights. They gave us some crisps as well a bit later on. One thing that was really frustrating about the flight is they did leave the seatbelt signs on the entire time. I wouldn't normally mind, but the pilot did make a big deal at the start of the flight of saying, I'm going to get these off as soon as possible for you, but then just left it on the entire flight and there was no turbulence. I did still get up to go to the bathroom at one point because everyone was. Nothing special in there, it was pretty small, as you'd expect from a narrow body plane. Overall, the flight was okay. It wasn't the most comfortable. I think it was an expectations thing. We'd expected to get all this extra space from being the exit row, but we really didn't have it. The crew were pretty moody the whole time too, and when we arrived in San Juan it took absolutely ages to get the baggage out as well. I think we were waiting about an hour, although I appreciate that can be more to do with the airport than the actual airline. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.